think the piece on the right is marginally bigger. So I've just popped that in my mouth as well. And given that a chew. Yeah. More than one chews. And put the half piece back in for later. Okay. Put that to one side. And now's a good time as any to have a look at the trusty scissors. I lost these for a while. Maybe only a few days, and then I found them again. Green handle. Blue handle. Green inserts. Little green rivet. I think that says stainless steel. So put the scissors to one side, and I've got two words for you. L.A. Health. That was the name of the other gum that I was using after PK, but I'm actually thinking now this extra, I could change my mind because it's my new gum. Okay, so with Black Friday coming up and Christmas, there's suddenly all these catalogues jumping out. In my letterbox, usually you might get one or two or three. But anyway, there's a lot. There's good old Coles. Coles is where I bought the bagels from. In that do my treats is Australian Treats video trail channel. The bagel, the finger buns, and that tea cake that was called Boston bun, which actually has nothing to do with Boston. But anyway, it was an Australian or a New Zealand invention. But there's a lot of things that people and things that come from New Zealand and Australia just sort of says, oh, that's ours. Which must be a little bit frustrating for our Kiwi cousins from across the ditch, or prawns, all the different seafoods. Obviously, well, if you're buying this at the beginning of November, there's no way it will last until Christmas. There's actually there's a fish shop that does sell very nice fish. Coming up to Christmas, they have big queues of people lining up to buy prawns. Some people call them shrimps, but and gets extra. That looks interesting to do. Rumbles. That might be a good one to do with on my eating channel. Covered in coconut. A lot of things are covered in coconut. Desiccated coconut. Makes it so lovely. I was actually thinking of just skipping over this whole catalogue. But there's been some great food. Let's getting into the boring stuff now. Almonds. It is broccoli and tomatoes, so yeah. I do like broccoli and tomatoes, but you know. There's asparagus. $1.40 a bunch. I love asparagus. And then you have it, they're nice to eat, and then you go to the bathroom afterwards. And then you always remember that you've been eating asparagus. Some chocks or Oreos. Lots of different flavours. There might be a second page there, I think. Right, there we go. Crumpets. A bit of butter. Not that margarine rubbish. Butter. And honey. It's lovely. Okay, and then we're just getting into other stuff. Pills and feminine hygiene things. All at half price. There's Peppa Pig. Pasta shapes. Peppa Pig and her little brother George. Okay, so I've got a few catalogues to have a look at. I don't know that I'll look at them. What I might do with that one. Oh, I'll leave it like that, that's it. And then as I turn this one over, I actually made a couple of those ones. These are actually surprisingly good. I don't think I made a video about it though. For $8, it's like a little Lego set. You push your pieces together. Once it's together, then you pull the truck back and let it go, and it uses the stored momentum of pulling the wheels back, the stored energy, to push the car along. It's a good drone. I've always wanted to get a drone. Annoy the neighbours with them. A bit of Mario Kart. the photos I've seen those when you walk through a bit of a close up. I walked through Kmart and I suppose kids like them, but you know, I don't know, it's a bit sort of scary for little kids, I'd say. Oh, a bit of Barbie. I've still got to watch that Barbie movie with Margot Robbie. I've seen it on. I think I can watch it on some other streamings. People tell me it wasn't much good, but you never know. I actually like movies that other people dislike. Well, I like, I don't know if I've told you this. I've watched all the Sharknado movies. I've got no idea. I know I've told people individually about this, my friends and stuff. But whether I've told you or not, anyway, if you haven't watched it, I'm not recommending it at all. But it's the premise is that as a tornado sweeps across the ocean and lifts sharks out of the ocean and then drops them to earth, and as the sharks drop to earth, they devour people in their process, in their wake, and they made 6 of them. And I think I watched 5 out of 6. I couldn't find one of them for some reason. And there's one of them where they come to Australia. There's a bit of Bluey and Bingo. There's a Bluey garbage truck. What was I going to say? Oh, there's more Bluey stuff there too. A Bluey advent calendar and a Bluey city cat boat playset. I remember thinking over it. Fabulous. There's one of these, one of the movies. They're in the half of the movie. It's actually a whole page of Bluey. I realise it. What was I going to say? Oh, where they come to Sydney, Australia. And they come to Sydney was in a movie that I watched recently. It was an older movie, from 15 years ago. I'm not going to think of it, the name of it, but anyway, he dresses up as part of it. He dresses up as like he's got as a half man, half goat or ram or sheep or something, with the legs and the body was something you'd see in a fable. I think it was a rom-com. Might have been. I watched it to the end. I'm not going to think what it's called. I might, if I do remember, when I'm editing the video, I'll just write the movie title up there like that. There's a little $39 camcorder. It's a cassette player. For $29 you can play your own cassettes. Something a bit of retro. Okay. $15 collectible. Didn't realise this catalogue was going to go on so long. I've always wanted to do a bit of modelling, appear in a catalogue with a pretend wife and pretend kids. That might happen one day. A bit of tay-tay. Okay, here's the bikes. A bit of a good old trampoline with the swing set. There's a pickleball net there. Lift it up to the camera. I've played a little bit of pickleball. It's quite a good game. MCOW or Lego. Oh, there's Lego City. I'm pretty sure. Now I've done the helicopter. I'd been on this channel, I can't remember. And I've done that car as well, race car. I don't think I've done any of the motorbikes. I haven't done any of the Friends or the Ninjago or the Unicorn. There's MCOW though, that's a good old Delta Quadrum. I read somewhere in the last 5 years that Delta Quadrum's mum was selling the family home where Delta grew up. And I realised that I think they might have had the street name. I won't say it, I think I can remember it, but I won't say it. Because, well, they don't live there. They just had the street name, you see, so it was only a small cul-de-sac. Maybe 10 or 15 houses in the street. I thought to myself, that's not that far from where I live. And I was kind of, generally driving that direction, or not really. So I thought this might have been during, those words I exhibitions. Ellie said, oh yeah, Black Friday. I think this is the first catalogue that mentions Black Friday. Oh, there it is here. Black Friday as well. Ellie Settler is all about furniture, lounges, and a thing for your house. I'm pretty sure that's the place. And then I got all these nice handles when I was redoing my kitchen, or our kitchen. They were nice, sort of a big, solid, probably steel, I suppose. Yeah, could be. Handle with a, I'm gonna say gunmetal finish, and it's nice when it's easy to grab the handle and open them up. I got those from, I think it was Ellie Settler. And then all their internal doors were this. They were 40 years old, they were still fine, but they were just a flat brown door that was probably plywood, hollow core, with a wooden frame. So I took those off and replaced them with moulded doors. I used the hinges. But yeah, so where I'm going with the story is I bought matching handles from Early Settler, but they were bigger ones. They matched the smaller ones for the kitchen with a with sort of, I'm just trying to think how to describe it, with sort of a ribbed all the way around, or sort of little indents to give it a bit of grip and character. So, so yeah, you order them through Early Settler. I saw them in store, and I might have come home and ordered them online through Early Settler, and then they get shipped. And they take a few weeks to turn up. That was the story. What was I going to say about the door? Oh yeah. So all I had to do with you buy the molded door that's the same 820 width and it's 2.1 I think high, 2100 millimeters high. We just had to cut out. I kept the existing hinges. So I lined up the old door perfectly with the new door, and then cut out the same little rectangle inlet insert, so the hinge would fit in, and then lined up. Spun it over and lined up perfectly for where the tongue comes out of the door. So clip into the little lock striker on the other side, and then line it up, and you just drill a hole, probably 9 or 10 millimeters diameter through, and that's big enough to push that. It's like a square rod that you push through to connect into your tongue base. And the other side it was quite time consuming, but it all came out well. I didn't make a mistake on any of the doors. I'd have to go and what's upside down? Didn't need to go and buy another door. I made a mistake, so it was good. When they were off, I painted them in just a matte sort of wall, matte sort of very light cream, I think, off-white, I think. beginning again. I kind of. Okay, samples. Diamond rings. Only $9.99. Gold pendant, $180. That's a nice watch for $69. That was Black Friday. I don't know, it seems like it's only been the last 5 years that Australian retailers have kind of gotten onto Black Friday. It might be longer. But all these, it's in a way, if you're organised, it's quite a good thing if you have something in mind that, for a Christmas present or something that you want to buy. Wait for the Black Friday sales. And look at it beforehand. Work out what you want. Yeah. What I often do. I like to, if I'm thinking about buying something, especially if it's expensive, I might just see it. I don't often just go and buy it. I like to have a look at it. Go away and think about it. Google it. Do internet searches and then say, oh yeah, that really is the thing that I want. Sometimes I change my mind. And sometimes sometimes I don't. I saw this bloke, I was talking to this bloke in the last year or two, I can't remember exactly when. Anyway, he had a digital watch on his arm, like there, with a bit of tan there, missing a bit of tan from where I could wear a watch. It was the old sort of chrome steel, I suppose, watch on you might have bought. I don't know, 40 years ago, this digital watch on. I said, sorry, is that a digital watch you're wearing? I was kind of surprised. And he said, yeah, it's he said it was a bit of a, anti, all the smartwatches. It was just a bit of a fun way to be different, I think, to all the people wearing smartwatches and counting their steps and all those kind of things. I've got that watch that I bought on Temu that I did do a video on about ages ago, and was it on this channel? I think it was on this channel, but I've put it in private now, and it keeps the time, but none of the other stuff seemed to work that well. I really want it for the time and the steps, but some days I can get more than 40,000 steps. That's a 4 with 4 zeros after it, 40,000 odd steps, and I think it's just, and I haven't really done that much walking. Other days it seems accurate. Well, you might do a lot of walking and get 7,000 or 10,000 steps. So, anyway. Just keep the time wrong. I did have a Fitbit at one point. It seemed good at counting the steps, but the band all broke apart. The Fitbit, the way it clipped in, that didn't last very long, and I bought another band that goes around it. one, I think, about how's that Bunnings, and they called it Hammer. Was it called Hammertown or something? I can't remember. That's another one where I might just put the, when I do the editing, I put it up there, which has been a great at the Bunnings for getting little kids in to buy stuff. You go into Bunnings now and have the little bluey different. It was a tool belt. As you walked in the other one, I was at Bunnings the other day, a little tool belt with a bluey tool belt. Yeah, there's a big Bunnings truck. That's quite clever. It's quite clever marketing, really, because kids just want to be, little kids want to do, what they see their parents do, or other adults. Those cheap camp chairs, they're okay, but they don't usually last very long. They're not as comfortable as a more robust and expensive chair, but even. But I suppose if that's all you can afford, then that's fine. Lots of barbecues. I've got a little pizza oven from Bunnings recently. It's a good little thing. I think I'm going to have it. Oh yeah. After I make this video, I'm going to make my dough. I'm doing this video early in the morning. Make my dough. Get ready to make pizzas this evening. Okay. Just more of the same sort of stuff, I think, at Bunnings. I might just try lock double cylinder. Anyway, got my house broken into years ago. What happened? They bent the screen door. I just can't remember if I've got a feeling. Did I get a new screen door, or did I? I've got a feeling that I took that lock bolt out of. Oh, that's what I might have done. That's right, I got a new security in quote marks screen door, and then rather than have to get a new case cutter, I took that little piece, I better hold that up close to the camera, that little lock piece, I took it out of my old door and put them in a new door. So I didn't have to get a new case cut, and I went to the security door like that because I just had one lock in the handle, and what they did is they just grabbed maybe with a wrecking bar, leave it out the top of the door and just pull backwards until the whole lock where it was into the door frame just broke. And there was another door that they just kicked a couple of times and then made the door. It wasn't actually. It was a bit disappointing, I suppose. But I had insurance, so they paid for most of the fixing of the door, and then I had an old video recorder that had broken. They took that, so I got a new. I think I was up to use the cash to buy a new DVD player, so I wasn't bad. At the end of the day, it is what it is, and you've got to kind of make the best out of it, I suppose. wheelbarrow. I aerate your lawn. Coming into top dress your lawn. All different tips. There's got some good videos on. Must be on YouTube as well, but you get the link through Bunnings. Okay. Great tools. I'm into Makita only because otherwise if you get a battery operated other things then you've got to buy all the new batteries and stuff. Run mini batteries, anyway. I actually have that style lawnmower. And then the base. Years ago I'd only had it a few years and then I didn't realise that I should have washed out underneath to get the grass out. The whole base rusted out, which was really disappointing. The motor was fine. So when it was on its way out but still usable, I saw somebody throwing out on their curb another lawnmower that was a two-stroke but had the same base. It was a Victor. So I grabbed that and then I unbolted the motor from my old one. I unbolted the motor from the one I picked up and put the motor onto the new base. Bolted it all in. And all the holes were there, ready to go on. And yeah, I've kept my mower going, and then what I've done now is every time I use it, I make sure I get under it and wash it. Shoot in from the back. And then this is when it's turned off, definitely turned off. I lift it up from the front. Definitely have it turned off and cool down and then shoot in the water. That's the hose I'm talking about when I say shoot in. And wash out all the grass. Leave it out to dry. And so the mower that was almost junk after 6 years is still going strong after probably another 6 years I suppose. I did that, so yeah. That's interesting. Oh, Repco. The Repco is car parts. There's the oils. I should see if there's the Castrol oil. See if it's still on now, if it's on special. So I've got to change my oil soon. I don't know if I've got any oil. It's the Castrol and it's got this sort of big spiral on the front of the back. Maybe not. With my lawnmower, what was disappointing was that, I change the oil every year. I always did that, usually every September. I changed the oil, I cleaned the air filter, check the oil before I used it every week, also whenever I turned it on, gave it a start. So I was disappointed with myself that I hadn't realised. That to make sure the base didn't rust, it was the design of that. Victor was a mulching mower. There's a plug you can put in the back so you don't put a catcher on. Spins round and that chop things up really finely. Chop the grass up finely. That's the word, yeah. And yeah, it's stuck in there. Obviously there's rust, there's grass getting clippings, there's water, there's moisture, Ask him if there's moisture on steel, which equals rust. So, yeah, live and learn. There's all some great stuff there at Repco. I probably should have done this catalogue first. Good old car seat covers. Okay. Okay, so I suppose that's the end of the video actually. That's the last catalogue. It's a bit knocked around. What I'll do is I'll spin the Bunnings one over. Hammertown. I think it's Hammertown. What it's called on Bluey. Bluey's quite a good show actually. I've watched a few of the episodes. And yeah. It's appealing to kids and kids at heart. Okay, so